You. Good thing I restarted. I didn't even have the audio for the video up. All right, we should be good now. Let's get back into it.
A sharp instrument to commit the crime. And the reason that's all
Okay.
important is because if he's convicted, he could get a higher penalty. He could get life in prison without the possibility of parole. He can even get the death penalty, even though there's a moratorium on executions out in California. But essentially, the argument is that he allegedly killed Celeste on April 23rd, 2025, after she threatened to expose him. Prosecutors allege he couldn't let anyone know about their alleged illegal sexual relationship, that this would ruin his career. So they claim he lured her to his property, killed her shortly after she arrived, stabbed her to death, and then dismembered her body. He has entered a not guilty plea. It's important to always remember that he is innocent
Hey, I'm
until proven
happy to
guilty.
see this boy in the
But
courtroom.
with all that said, now I am wondering about federal charges. Could federal charges be on the horizon? Because if that is the case, that will change everything. For that, I want to bring in Gene Rossi, former federal prosecutor, criminal defense attorney, to talk about this. Gene, thank you so much for taking the time. Always good to see you.
It's funny because so far this motherfucker is cooked, bro. Like this is the worst murder. You this one up, bro. You're cooked. And it's funny because at this point it's just like, how much time can we give him? You feel me? Like, let's hit that boy with a whole book.
I have to just start with the big one. This is the one, when this came out, this was my first thought. And I haven't had an opportunity to really dissect it as much as I wanted to, because from the evidence list included in a filing ahead of the preliminary hearing, which is set for the end of the month, and that's where prosecutors will present what they say is sufficient evidence for this case to move forward. There's this part. It says, quote, the description of photographs depicting the victim naked, as well as while she was engaged with defendant in sexual activity when she was 13. As this evidence constitutes child sexual abuse material, CSAM, the photographs themselves will not be presented. While all possible charges that could be proven were not filed, the CSAM is proof of their ongoing sexual relationship while the victim was 13 and 14.
Yeah, nah, you could get booked just for having it on your computer. Cause I was like, oh, it's like drugs, like it's an intent to distribute. So they're like, oh, at least at the very least, it's proof of the relationship. But if we can prove that, but it doesn't even matter, bro. Like, not only is it proof of the relationship, dog, you're cooked, bro. You're cooked. You're not even. You can't even have that shit on the files, dog. Like,
Years old. And Los Angeles County Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman said in court in a recent hearing that the search warrants in this case turned up, quote, a significant amount of child pornography on Burke's
other than
devices.
her,
Now, I go to Eugene. If that is the case, is that automatically federal charges?
It's not automatically, but it sure points towards federal involvement. And there are two federal charges that could occur here. And I'll get to a third in a moment. But I want to go to the child pornography. They have seized 8 terabytes of information from his iCloud account. They've only reviewed 1 terabyte. So they got 7 more.
ain't no way. You know. I gotta turn my heat on. I want to feel like I'm in hell while I watch this. This is that. What do you? What do you? What do you do with 8 terabytes? And then people are just like, oh, let's just let him rot in prison. Nah, bro, delete, redact him, brother. 8 terabytes. What the? I don't even. I've never. I've never even seen that much computer storage, brother. What the
terabytes to go where they could even enhance the murder charge and also child pornography. But go to feds, the
Oh my
U.S. attorney
God,
or
bro. Listen, I'm just saying, bro, I often think the worst of the worst, dog. I pray to God the worst of the worst videos are not on there. I don't know what I could even reference on stream to make you, but doing it after the fact. If you could get what I'm saying with that, but bro, that's diabolical. If he took video of him doing that,
Department of Justice could charge him theoretically with possession of
the
child
fuck,
porn
bro.
and or production of child porn. Possession is a 5-year minimum. The production is, I think, a 15-year minimum. I could be wrong on that, but I think it's 10 to 15 years. But it's a minimum. The other charge that could possibly occur here is federally
Yeah, imagine having to go to school and you rode for this dude. Embarrassing.
is kidnapping. It appears that she may have been lured to his apartment across state lines and that for the purpose of kidnapping her, not letting her go, and then he abused her and he killed her. Kidnapping resulting in death is at
Well,
federal level is
would it
death
still be
penalty eligible.
federal? Would it still be federal if she came from Lake Elsinore, California, to the Hollywood Hills in California, all
No,
in one
but
state?
we don't know if she went to another state and he was communicating with her. We don't know. We got 8 terabytes of information. We have 7 more terabytes to go. We don't know that. But on the child
Yo, she should have
pornography
had a
stuff,
white family.
that's
That's
definitely an
crazy.
interest of the federal prosecutors. I can tell you that right now.
Let's explore that a little bit. I looked at some of the statutes and tell me what the elements are and how it might apply. So I saw 18 USC 2251, sexual exploitation of children, production of child pornography. 18 USC 2252, certain activities relating to material involving the sexual exploitation of minors, so possession, distribution, and receipt of child pornography. 2252A, certain activities relating to material constituting or containing child pornography. And I looked under the DOJ's website, they basically say images of child pornography are not protected under First Amendment rights and are
Goddamn
legal
right.
contraband under federal law. Section 2256 defines child pornography as any visual depiction of sexually explicit conduct involving a minor, someone under 18 years of age. Visual depictions include photographs, videos, digital or computer-generated images distinguishable from an actual minor, and images created, adapted, or modified but appear to depict an identifiable actual minor. Federal jurisdiction is
Hey, I wish I had more pull. Because I want the last part of that to really register in some of you freak nasty boys' minds. Because you better be careful with that fucking AI, bro. Alright? You're gonna have fight on someone's computer, man.
is impacted if the child pornography offense occurred in interstate or foreign commerce. So this includes, for example, using the U.S. mails or common carriers to transport child pornography across state or international borders. Additionally, federal jurisdiction almost always applies when the internet is used to commit a child pornography violation. Even if the child pornography image itself did not travel across state or international borders, federal law may be implicated if the material, such as the computer used to download the image or the CD-ROM used to store the image, originated or previously traveled in interstate or foreign commerce. And then it goes, any violation of federal child pornography law is a serious crime. Convicted offenders face severe statutory penalties. For example, a first-time offender convicted of producing child pornography faces statutory minimum of 15 years to 30 years maximum in prison.
That
A
ain't enough.
first-time offender convicted of transporting child pornography faces, like you said, fines and a statutory minimum of 5 years to 20 years in prison. Convicted offenders may face harsher penalties if the offender has prior convictions. Okay, I guess I go back to you when I'm laying that out. Is it just the fact you put it on your device and it connects to the iCloud? Is that sufficient? I mean, I think a lot of these statutes were built before our technology. And so it's not like the classic example, child pornography, you put in a mail, you send it to somebody, right? If it's on your phone and it's in the iCloud, is that enough?
That could be enough. Because here's why, because the interstate nexus for child pornography cases, and actually any federal crime, the bar is very low in terms of affecting interstate commerce. If you use your iCloud, if you use a computer, if you use the mails, it's almost inevitable you're going to invoke a federal jurisdiction via the commerce affecting commerce. So that doesn't bother me one
Okay.
bit in terms of
Trespass lineup couldn't
affecting
save you.
interstate commerce. I did want to add this. The intent here would be circumstantial. You probably don't have any admissions from Mr. Burke. I'm going to call him Mr. Burke. So you really just his possession would satisfy the elements of either intentional, knowingly, and/or willfully possessing this material, or transporting it or producing. It sounds like he took it up a notch and he was producing this child porn. He just wasn't receiving it. He seemed to be obsessed with her.
Yo, the difference in the mugshot and it, like, bro,
I would
knock him
say
the
this.
fuck
One
out.
of the articles that I read said it's possible that he was starting his relationship, if you will, I use that loosely, with Miss Hernandez when she was age 12. So we got 12, 13. That's well below 14, of course. So he's facing some charges at the state level that are pretty significant. But I want to go back to the feds. If there is any indication that she crossed state lines, that would invoke the kidnapping statute if he lured her across state lines, which is possible. I don't
Bro, I'm
know.
about to just
And
go
they
out
have
there and
this
draw a
death
state line.
resulting
What the fuck?
clause of the kidnapping statute. That is death penalty eligible at the federal level.
Mm.
And I'll guarantee you this, if the LA U.S. Attorney's Office has evidence of kidnapping resulting in death, you can guarantee they're going to charge it, and they probably would seek the death penalty because, from what I've read, this gets to a case I had in the Eastern District, Virginia, United States versus Ernesto Cole. He was a drug dealer. He killed about 35 people. One of
Damn.
the people whom he killed was
That boy
in
called
the
a nuke.
Eastern District of Virginia. The victim was put in a car that was parked on Teddy Roosevelt Island during the 4th of July, 1991. And tourists and people saw flies, and the odor from the car over 3 days was just overwhelming. They impounded the car and they found inside the victim. That was the basis of the
Bro,
murder
I'm literally
charge,
gonna
the
be
drug
eating this
trafficking
apple
murder
this whole
charge.
video.
This has similar qualities. It seems like that she was left in the trunk of that car for weeks
Yeah.
while it was parked in front of his rental
God
property in
damn, this bitch
Hollywood, I
juicy.
think.
Yeah, and that's what complicates it. But again, I haven't seen anything that like the car was driven across state lines. It might have been transported within California, but I haven't seen it crossing state lines. Which actually, talking about crossing state lines, it brings me to something else.
What if the
I'm
tow truck
curious
costs?
your perspective on another potential federal charge. Sex trafficking. What do I mean? So in the brief, it says numerous text messages between defendant and the victim evidencing their sexual relationship, pregnancy, abortion, and use of Plan B emergency contraception.
That shit is
Messages
crazy,
through
bro.
March 2025 prove defendant continued to manipulate the victim as she messaged, "All we do is have sex and just hang out. Man, I want more than that for myself." These messages were obtained from defendant's iCloud data. And by the way, apparently there was a prior investigation in.
Bro, this is why you need to take care of your fucking daughters and be a fucking good fucking, like, if you're gonna have kids, be a fucking place for them to go, bro. Like, what are we talking about, bro? She's texted, bro. She should be able to go home to her mother and her father, bro. Whoever, dog, auntie, uncle, grandma, grandfather. How the fuck do y'all let her fall so far from civilization that she's out here with this fucking lizard? That shit is fucking ridiculous to me, bro. How do you lose track of life so much and then you just have a kid and you let some shit like this happen to her, bro? Where she's mentally aware. It's not even like at this point I could be like, oh, she's just innocent and all that stuff. Bro, she's mentally aware. She's mentally aware of the fact that she don't even want to fucking be here. Like, she knows he's just taking advantage of her. She knows that shit, bro, and she can't even get out of it. Like, we're at a low place in society. If this girl is smart enough to know she shouldn't be in that position, but cannot think of another out other than to stay in it.
To their alleged relationship. And it said, despite being informed by law enforcement the victim was only 13, defendant continued to pursue her. After the victim returned home in February 2024, her parents took her cell phone away. Defendant drove to Lake Elsinore and paid a junior high school student in the victim's class $1,000 to give the victim a cell phone defendant purchased so they could stay in contact. Throughout 2024,
Oh my god. Yo, I thought this. I was watching a couple of these before, but I know this type motherfucker, bro. I know this, and we all do. We all had one or two of these motherfuckers in high school, and I ain't gonna hold you. Now I might have had a white one, but I'm just saying I've seen a lot of them and they're black. That's all I'm saying, and I'm just disappointed. It be motherfuckers that graduate and they be the lamest motherfuckers in the world. They get out of high school, they don't got nothing going for themselves, bro. And they just be the type of motherfuckers that start loitering back at the school and like hanging out with the juniors that they were friends with when they were their senior, because they didn't get along with the seniors because they were a lame. So they were friends with the juniors and the sophomores and possibly the freshmen. But they loiter around the school and hang out with those kids while they're seniors and they do all their skipping and then they just loiter around that group and then they be getting in these relationships and shit. Bro, he's one of those weirdos, dog. Bro, that shit. Yeah, if you know someone like that, bro, leave that shit in the comments because I ain't gonna hold you. There's too many of those motherfuckers.
Before, the victim spent a significant amount of time.
Like you went back to the school. She got her phone taken away. And here I am thinking she might be the one that went and got her phone back. No, you went and gave a kid $1,000 at her school to give her a phone, but then you kill her so she doesn't up your career. Dog, you probably could have just left her the fuck alone.
Time with defendant, including summer weekends at his home in the Hollywood Hills and traveling with him to Las Vegas, London, and Texas to meet his family. Gene, whenever I hear about an alleged illegal sexual relationship with a minor,
Yeah, I
and this
think
is
he's
going
taking her across state lines, like
and international lines,
straight up.
is that sex trafficking?
Yes, go to the Diddy trial in the Southern District of New York. He had a RICO count,
Easy,
he
just
had a
like
Mann
that.
Act
Yes.
count, and he had sex trafficking involving violence. I don't think you have RICO here, but you could have a Mann Act. Mann Act is I'm in Washington D.C. I call a lady of the night in L.A.
A
Hey, I'll
lady of
pay
the
your
night.
airfare and hotel. Come here and we'll have physical relationship. That's a Mann Act violation. There's no threats. There's no violence. If you add violence.
Yo, some of you hoes need to take a lesson, bro. You see how he's dancing around? He said, "Go to," and I want you to come. I call a lady of the night, and I want you to come back to my place and have intimate relations. Like he can't even keep it straight, bro. And y'all be out here talking about getting your booty holes ate and shit like that.
Violence, that's sex trafficking involving violence or the threat of violence. We could have that. Now, here's the thing. This is why I think kidnapping could be on the radar
Yeah,
screen,
goofball,
in
bro.
addition to Mann Act or sex trafficking at the federal level. I'm sure she left the state of California and there were communications between Mr. Burke and Ms. Hernandez that caused her to come back to LA and engage in a relationship with him when she was under 14, or even if she wasn't under 14.
Right.
Sex trafficking doesn't have an age. Mann Act doesn't have an age. So those
Right.
are two
Mm-hmm.
federal charges
Well,
that could apply.
does he have to promise her something? Does he have to give her something of value? Does he have to give her money? Does he have to, is it paying for the trips? Because isn't that a key component of a sex trafficking case? I don't know if it's different if you're talking about minors.
The jury instructions for the Mann Act and the sex trafficking is very broad. It could be entice. Entice could be you're just the verbal persuasion. It could be a financial gain. It's very broad.
It's just the
How
fact that
you
he's a
entice
celebrity. You feel me?
somebody
Is
to
enough.
cross
That's
state
enough for
lines
me.
for either Mann Act purposes or sex trafficking purposes.
Okay. By the way, before I go into the next component of this and how this may work, I just want to go back to the potential CSAM, the child sexual abuse material. What's a defense? And look, this is the prosecution's narrative about what they found. It's the prosecution's description of what these potential images are. Do you say, as a defense attorney, it's not that? These are very benign images?
The fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? They said he brought her to meet his family. Bro, what the fuck? Oh, nah. I got to watch this shit right here, bro. His family must be fucked up.
What is being
Oh,
described,
shit.
or If he's in possession of it, it's on his devices, case closed.
The thing about child pornography, if I have a magazine on my desk right now and it's child pornography and I know it's on my desk and it crossed state lines, I got it in the mail, I'm guilty of possession of child pornography. That's all you need. It's really an easy charge to prove. The only defense would, well, two defenses. One, you didn't know you had possession. If you had possession, it was mistake. That would be one defense. The other
Hmm.
defense is, it's not really child porn. It's a photo of a young girl in a nice dress or in the playground. It's not child pornography. That would be the
Then he's absolutely, without a doubt, cooked. Because not only is he the one that created it, because I'm pretty sure they said something about videos, he created it. So it's like you can't say, "Oh, I didn't know it would." You know every little detail about that video, brother.
other defense.
Okay.
That second defense, the other defense, that doesn't go anywhere. I'm sure what's on his iCloud or anything short of the iCloud is pretty graphic. And I think Justice Stewart said, pornography, I know it when I see it. Same thing applies to child pornography. I know it when I see it. So it's not hard to prove that that's child pornography.
I want to touch upon something else. So Beth Silverman, again, the assistant DA who's prosecuting this case, said that discovery materials in this case would include the results of
Every
a
photo for him
wiretap,
just doesn't make his
okay, and
case
also
better in
searches
my
of
eyes.
Burke's cell phone and iCloud accounts, and that law enforcement executed 54 search warrants. Wiretap. Does that mean the feds are involved?
Possibly. Yes. Now, at the state level, they can get wiretaps, but at the federal level, wiretaps are very common. Well, they're common in this type of case. So it could be a federal wiretap. It could be a state wiretap. It could be both. Here's the other thing I was
You know, you think they're cute with their little double acronym: fidelity, bravery, and integrity.
interested in. There were grand jury subpoenas served on the parents of Mr. Burke in Texas,
Yes.
okay, Houston, Texas. They were served on the parents in April of 2025. And as you mentioned before, her alleged murder occurred around April 23 of 2025. And the motive would be one, she could possibly be pregnant, and or he's worried that he's a target of an investigation. What I'd like to know is, were they just state grand jury subpoenas, or had the feds gotten involved and also served grand jury subpoenas on the parents? The reason I mention that is, if the parents got grand jury subpoenas from the feds and they were doing something to conceal, alter, or impede the investigation, that's an obstruction of justice charge.
Okay, that actually leads into something else. I thought about this. I don't know if there's anything here. There is a federal law in the books against tampering with or killing a witness as part of a federal proceeding, right? Now, as far as we know, there was no federal proceeding. However, if we go by the prosecution's narrative that she was allegedly going to expose him about their relationship, and even though, again, there's been nothing to indicate there was a federal proceeding or a federal investigation, but if she said, I'm going to show everybody these pictures, or I'm going to the FBI, if there are like messages about that, could theoretically this be a case of allegedly tampering with, killing a witness at the federal level? I might be stretching this because I don't know all the situation,
Yeah, pretty much.
but I thought about it.
Well, at the federal level, you need an investigation. You need a pending proceeding. And I supervised indirectly a charge where a witness in a federal investigation was going to cooperate with the feds or had been cooperating, and she was brutally murdered by MS-13 members. So that was a separate charge
That's terrible.
involving witness tampering.
Yeah, I don't even think it's worth going
But
for
it
here.
would be an aggravating factor for first-degree murder in the special
Yeah.
circumstances that she was a potential witness and he took her life, allegedly took her life. I will say this though,
What's that, the fucking
unless the
Drake hoodie?
wiretaps have some admissions or inculpatory statements, Mr. Burke has an argument that I'm assuming there's no forensic DNA
Yeah.
on the body. That would be bad, of course. But they got an argument. They have an argument. I don't say it's successful, that, it's too attenuated. You can't
Hold on. That apple was mad juicy. Shit had my hands sticky. All right, lock in. What did they just say?
I don't say it's
Oh, that's what I
successful.
was gonna say. How the fuck are there so many pictures of this kid? He's an idiot. Like, take your licks at this point. Because how the fuck you was living life on cloud nine? And he said, I'm gonna just post pictures and do all this fucking sus ass shit. And then at the end of it, I'm gonna be like, oh, you about to snitch on me and ruin my career? Like, motherfucker, like, you left a whole ass paper trail, bro. The shit was made of fucking silver.
That, it's too attenuated. You can't place him at the scene of any crime. You can't, there's no admission that he took her life. If that's the case, then they have an argument.
Well, I'll counter that by saying
Go ahead.
they through digital evidence. Okay, this is what they're saying they have. I don't know. We'll have to see what they have. But they claim through digital evidence and cell phone evidence and surveillance evidence, they can track her movements to this property.
Call me messed up, but I actually have to follow this because I can't wait to see his face the day he gets his verdict. So I have to see this through.
They can track purchases that he made to allegedly, dispose of her body. They can track his movements to Santa Barbara. Also through, messages that he allegedly sent. They've created a timeline of when this alleged murder happened. And there is some forensic material too that I think is of note. But I just want to take a step back here. What would be the advantage of pursuing a federal case simultaneously with a state case? Is it that if there's a weakness in the state case, hey, we can go the federal route? Does it complicate it at all? Talk to me about that.
Well, I mean, the advantage is the defendant's facing two wars, if you will, Eastern Front, Western Front.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's always
that
puts a
pincer
burden on
maneuver.
the defense. And it's a lot easier to convict
Boy, neck
somebody when
long
you
as
have
hell.
two battles going on. The negative is if you have two charges in two separate forums, state and federal, you're going to have problems with production and
Nigga, what the
disclosure.
fuck? That nigga got a pointed ass jawline. That shit look sharp as hell. Yo, I'll tell you what, bro. My daughter ain't never gonna meet a crazy motherfucker because I can see it on your face. I can see it in your facial structure, bro. The way your jaw cut, bro. Like, I know you cut a bitch.
Exculpatory evidence,
That was kind of
other things
distasteful.
you
I'm
have
sorry.
to disclose because you're going to have the state and federals compare how much information they each have. And a judge is going to say, hey, state, you get everything you can from the feds and vice versa. That could complicate things. Usually, what happens is the state defers to the feds, but I think the horse has, we had to conduct it here every Saturday. The horse has left the gate, if you will, on the state charge. They've
Hey,
already
bitch.
started the process. Usually, at the beginning of an investigation, the state and feds decide who goes first or who's going to take over the case.
So in other words, if there were federal charges, it doesn't necessarily mean the federal case would go first. There's a possibility the state case could go first.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Now, I don't recall any mention of the feds at all. What do I mean by that? In the press conference from LA authorities, the LA District Attorney's Office, law enforcement, haven't heard anything about the feds. That doesn't necessarily mean it's not happening, right? I mean, could the LADA's office just not be saying anything? Are the feds investigating behind the scenes? I don't know. You tell me.
Jesse, think about it. You're Nate Hochman and you're having a press conference. You're announcing these first-degree murder charges and other charges involving lewd acts and sexual exploitation. The last thing you want to do is have a press conference and say, okay, we've charged Gene Rossi, but the feds are doing something too. You're directing the media to go to some other forum to ask questions. You want the focus to be on your investigation alone. So it doesn't surprise me that they were very reluctant intentionally to avoid mentioning that the feds may have an investigation. I would be shocked.
So go ask the feds about that shit.
The U.S. Attorney's Office does not have an investigation or will be starting one. I would be shocked if they are not doing anything.
And again, maybe someone in the comments could correct me, but I go back
It's a
to
doubt factor.
I don't recall the LADA.
We gotta make an example of this shit, bro.
Joint
Bro.
operation.
You gotta make an example of this shit. The next one of you YNs that comes out with one of these stupid little emo songs, bro, you getting, bro, on site. It's on site for y'all, bro.
DA's office, the LAPD, Riverside County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, because sometimes you see that, right? They'll be like, we had a multi-agency effort. The FBI helped us with information. Sometimes the FBI is part of a state case, right? So the fact that they didn't mention that, you know, you tell me.
Well, that they did not mention the feds at all, FBI, ATF, anybody else, does not surprise me one bit. They want to have the focus on the LA DA's office and their office alone. Not that they want to hog the media, but they want to focus on their case. If there was a joint
You trying to get to the bag, dog.
they would have mentioned
Let
it.
them be.
But I want to stress, it does not mean the feds are just sitting on their hands and not looking at this at all. I guarantee you they are looking at it. Whether they charge is another matter, but they are looking at it.
Gene Rossi, my gosh, gave us a lot to think
Yeah,
about.
let me tell you something. You got fucking terabytes, you're getting locked the fuck up.
First person.
Terabytes of anything.
Thank you.
Lock the fuck up.
Hey, thank you.
And that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you.
All right. Let's see about his family, bro. Because, bro, they posted this 9 minutes ago.
Did David's family really know about his alleged relationship
That's
with
what the
14-year-old
fuck
Celeste
I'm saying.
Rivas Hernandez before she was found dead and dismembered in the trunk of a Tesla allegedly registered to him? What did they potentially say to a secret grand jury in the months before?
Was it allegedly registered to him, or is it registered to him? Maybe he was talking in the past
The now
tense.
21-year-old was slapped with murder and mutilation charges. And did his brother really think now is the time to just kick off his own music career? We're talking about David's family right now. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
They got a stigmatism on all these photos.
Known by his moniker, his stage name David, is accused of sexually abusing a teen girl for months before allegedly luring her to a swanky rental home in the Hollywood Hills, killing her with some sort of sharp instrument, letting her bleed out, and then cutting her up in an inflatable pool in the home's garage. Horrific. But this is all according.
This motherfucker definitely rented that house because at this point she was really mad at him, bro. Like they talked about that in the last one. At this point they are not on good terms. So they were talking about a type of coercion where he lured her using like enticing with sex trafficking with you learn with money or gifts or bribes and stuff like that. I feel like that house, in a way you could say, like he was probably inviting her like, yo, we're gonna chill here for a minute.
Investigation by the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division and now the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. Now we know David has entered a not guilty plea to the charges that he faces, and that his attorneys, led by Blair Burke, say the evidence will show he didn't cause Celeste Rivas Hernandez's death. Exactly what that evidence might be, though, still unclear.
You have to be a bat straight out of the ninth circle of hell to take this man's case. I know there's probably some reason she had to take it. Like it is what it is. Bro, I would have turned around it with a nine tails and hit him right across the face, bro. You could not get me in a room with that kid, bro. Could not get me. That's probably why they had to give him a female, bro. Because you gave him a man, he would have died in the interrogation room, bro.
Clear. But again, as he faces these charges, including first-degree murder and their special circumstances allegations, which could make this life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Real niggas ain't waiting.
Death penalty.
Real shit.
There's a moratorium on executions. The stakes are very severe. And today, as we inch closer to a preliminary hearing in
I hope that's the first thing David hears when he gets to prison. Real niggas ain't waiting.
David's murder case, I want to do something else. I want to talk a little bit more about what we know about him, his family, his relationship or alleged relationship with Celeste, and what's next in this very high-profile criminal case. Because you may or may not have heard of David before Celeste's body was found in the trunk of a Tesla towed to a Hollywood tow yard in September.
Fuck no, I
didn't. Singer-songwriter shot to fame in 2022 with a song called Romantic Homicide, which has more than, I think, 1 billion plays on Spotify. His latest album, Withered, landed a top 15 spot on the Billboard 200 when it debuted last year. This is according to The Hollywood Reporter, sandwiching David in between hitmakers like Billie Eilish and Chappell Roan. Guy's a big deal. By the way, important for the legal case.
Like
His
fucking
career.
Neo Nas
David
X.
also made headlines in the music industry because of his production process. According to an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, most of his songs are recorded on his iPhone using apps like BandLab. But his success quickly pulled him from his Texas bedroom to the international stage. Multiple websites list David's net worth as between $2 and $3 million, which, by the way, we weren't able to independently confirm, but it's safe to say that he has been seeing some serious success. You got to imagine that. And in September of 2025, the media pivoted from talking about his withered concert tour, which he soon canceled, and instead focused on his alleged involvement in Celeste's death. She should have been celebrating her 15th birthday, but instead, she was found dead, dismembered, some of her body parts still missing, all.
Yeah, and they're probably never gonna talk about this in any of these cases because it's not really like evidence or anything like that. But this motherfucker was literally on tour with like caskets and stuff like that, like doing like mock funerals at his concerts and shit. He was this man.
In the front
This kid
trunk
is
of a
vile.
Tesla, reportedly registered out of Texas to David. She had last been seen or heard from months earlier in April. So now David was the focus of serious scrutiny from law enforcement and online sleuths and traditional media, and that scrutiny spread to his family as well. And it turns out that as David was writing and releasing Romantic Homicide, he was also allegedly interacting online with young fans, including Celeste. According to a brief that was filed by Los Angeles prosecutors in anticipation of a preliminary hearing, quote, pursuant to their investigation, LAPD robbery homicide detectives determined the victim and defendant met in January 2022 when she was 11 years old.
Jesus.
They began a sexual relationship in November 2023 when the victim was just 13 years old and defendant was 18. But he wasn't the only one interacting with Celeste. She apparently spent time with his friends, including Neil Langston, who was purportedly one of David's good friends. Investigators say she even traveled to Texas with David to meet his family. The prosecution's brief states, throughout 2024, the victim spent a significant amount of time with defendant, including summer weekends at his home in the Hollywood Hills and traveling with him to Las Vegas, London, and Texas to meet his family. Now, it's unclear how much David's parents and brother knew about his interactions with Celeste and if they were aware of how young she was. But we
I
do know
guess
that the
they
family
could
was
not
ordered
be.
to come to LA and testify, seemingly in front of a grand jury, as prosecutors were working to build a case against him. After David's arrest in April, an attorney representing the Burke family released a statement to Rolling Stone saying the parents are sad and disappointed that David was arrested. However, they fully stand behind him and believe that he is innocent. They fully
What the
support him.
fuck?
Okay, before we jump into this, look, the
The fuck
weather's
is
getting
wrong with you?
nicer, and it means,
Redact
you know,
them.
it's time for a little spring reset on the closet, right? For me, that is about quality over quantity. Going for pieces that are easy for every day, but have an elevated feel and something that's not going to break the budget, right? That's why I got to tell you about
Fuck about to hit me
Basic
with an ad.
Canvas makes beautiful, effortless pieces using premium materials like 100% European linen and organic cotton, super soft denim, and they have tons of accessories too, like their hand-woven Italian leather
Hey,
bags
hey,
with their
hey,
linen top.
hey, 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 hey,
This family vid, what
Shut
we've
it down,
learned,
shut it down.
shipping, and 365-day returns. So I want to talk about what we've learned about the Burke family over the last year or so. And I'm going to preface this by saying that David is the only person to have been charged in connection with Celeste's death right now. His family members have not been accused of any wrongdoing. But David's parents are Colleen and DeWood Burke. He also has an adult brother, Caleb, as well as a younger sister. This is according to TMZ. And we're going to get into more about Caleb.
And that boy
how
ugly.
he's maybe turning heads right now.
Is that a
second.
Death
But
the
last
Kid hoodie? That
fall,
shit is
when
kinda
all
hard.
of the speculation started swirling around about David, the Tesla, a body being found in California, what was going on in Texas? Well, the Burke family home was reportedly the target of swatting. So swatting's a dangerous prank where someone calls 911 and pretends that there's been some sort of incident, so it requires an urgent police response. It's a hoax. And in this case, 2 Waller County deputies responded to that home in Hempstead, which is apparently on a large piece of property set back off the road. But according to Realtor.com, the 4,400 square foot home sits on nearly 7 acres of land. And it all started with a phone call to 911 on September 18th, so just days after Celeste's body was found.
Waller County Sheriff's Office is Amber. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, Waller County Sheriff's Office.
Hello, I need help.
Okay, what's going on? Where are you at?
My address is
Okay, what's going on?
I heard some gunshots.
Okay. How close to your residence were they?
They were right outside my house, and I think someone's dead.
Okay,
This shit is
what's
so
your
annoying
name?
because you know this nigga
Say
lying.
it again?
What's your name?
You just hear it in his voice.
Okay, what's a good phone number for you, sir? Okay, and why do you believe that somebody's dead?
I don't know, I just heard like a loud scream and there was gunshots.
Oh, scream. Okay. After shots. Okay, but you haven't saw or heard anything else after that?
I heard a scream.
Was it a male or a female scream, do you think?
It was like a female.
Female? Okay, we're going to go ahead and get deputies headed out that way and just confirming you're at...
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to get them sent that way, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, bye-bye.
So someone's alleging that there's someone dead at this home, doesn't want to provide much detail. We spoke with an audio expert, by the way, for an episode of Sidebar when this first came out, and she said the voice was distorted and it's likely someone trying to mask it. Now, one of the responding deputies called into the sheriff's office to get more information from the dispatcher as he approached this property.
How far is the other guy out?
Not, let me see where he's at compared to you.
Show me further than Mark.
He is turning right now onto 359, so he's probably like 5-6 minutes if he's booking it. Yeah, this house is far. Be careful. Wait on him, Chris.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do.
This guy.
They got that boy going out to the sticks. He said, I ain't going out here without no fucking backup, dog.
Dead, and I was like,
Oh, he gets shooting out
what
here.
do you mean somebody's dead? Like, how do you know that? Do you see them? And he's like, no, he's like, I heard a lady scream right after the gunshots. And I was like, okay, so have you seen anybody? Have you heard anything? Have you heard any more gunshots? He's like, no. And I was like, okay, well, what's your name? My name? And I was like, yeah, what's your name?
Damn, he whipping that shit. Like he's spinning the wheel. Where you going, big dog?
He's on Porter Lane right now already.
Alright,
So he's moving.
I'm gonna move up a little ways and we'll ride in.
Okay, well, we're gonna close it when y'all get there, just to make sure.
Alright, let me grab my Yeah, cause this ain't right. I remember one time coming out here when I first started and we had a crazy dude back here, and it was like when I was on FTO.
Yeah, and I looked at the prior scene because he kind of gave me that vibe. But yeah,
This
it's
nigga
a
getting
very long
PTSD for the
driveway
first day on the
garage
job.
to his big old house.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's no like houses close to him. That's why his property is huge.
Yeah.
That's why he said that.
Alright, let me
Get that motherfucking rod, dog. I like this cop.
So the
He got the rod out.
by
He
the way, is
had
armed
that shit out
with
the
a
window.
high-powered rifle, walked up
He ain't gonna die in
to
no horror
Burke's
movie
front
for
door.
sure.
Wait, I got you covered. Come right here.
That nigga got a fucking ACOG on that shit. The big ass scope.
Give me the windows. Here, knock on the door. Dude, we got a phone call from here saying that somebody was dead. Is there somebody else that lives on this property that has your address? What's your address? That's it. That's it. That's what we got. We got an address. There was a gunshot and a woman scream.
That look like a fat white man.
Serious. That's why we came up here like this, because and then they talked to the caller. Whoever they were talking to said that there's a person dead.
You look like he got suspenders on too. Ain't no way that dude
Fearful
guilty.
that the deputies might not be who they say they are, called 911 to verify what's going on.
Sorry to bother you, but somebody called and said there was something. I mean, there was a
Yeah, he's
person that
definitely
was-
white. Only a white person will call the cops on a cop.
There's somebody dead.
Someone's dead.
Oh wait, no.
That's why we had to take caution, you know what I mean? Wasn't trying to scare y'all, just this house is way off the roadway.
Maybe that was the other cop.
So you just opened the gate and came in?
Yes, ma'am. I'll put it back. I have a gate just like it.
I think it's probably get my country.
Yeah, when it's something like this, when they say somebody's dead, their life matters more than, you know what I mean?
I hear.
Yeah, the dispatcher read the phone number of the person who called 911 to Colleen.
W
typed it into
homeowners.
her phone, and it didn't show up in her contacts.
It ain't on their phone.
And this is not a Texas.
Yeah, that's an
area
out-of-state number.
Someone's messing with us. Someone's messing
But
with us.
whoever, it would be pinged here, though, because wherever they call from, it pings and sends it to dispatch.
What the what?
So, like, whenever you call 911,
She got an
wherever you
accent.
are, it sends like a ping
It pings
to
from
that's how they know the address.
And this address came up to this number?
Oh, maybe not.
Yes, ma'am, that's where he was meeting. County to Engine 42.
So it says somebody on my property?
Could be. We'll check the property for you.
So there's
She
this
don't got
police
too bad of
report
an
that was
accent. I was
recently
thinking
reviewed
like
by
maybe
TMZ that says the deputies were on the property for
in
another
terms of
20
like
minutes or
ignorance
so
of knowing
before
her
they closed out the
age,
call,
Celeste's age,
determining
but
that it was likely swatting. And TMZ also later reported that
she
David
seemed West
had
enough to know
transferred
better.
deeds of 2 Texas homes to a trust in his mother's name. That reportedly happened on September 18th and September 20th. Why? Remember, September 18th was the day of that swatting call. It's not clear why the singer decided to do the transfer, but there was speculation at the time that if he did end up getting arrested in connection with Celeste's death, he didn't want authorities to be able to seize his assets. It's also interesting to note that between September, when he canceled his Wither tour, and April, when he was arrested, we don't know where David was. We didn't know where he was. He went silent on social media, didn't make any public appearances as far as we know. He was arrested in California.
Yo,
Is it
this
possible
nigga is
that he was
guilty,
flying
bro. I
low
wish I
around
had the
those Texas
soundboard,
homes
bro.
during these months? We know he was arrested at this property in California. How long
This
was he there?
nigga is
And
guilty.
another interesting connection, we actually learned for the first time that David was a, quote, target of a murder investigation because of court documents that were filed by David's family. What do I mean? In February, what's called a petition of attendance was filed, and essentially was trying to compel Colleen, DeWood, and Caleb to appear before a Los Angeles grand jury. And here's an example of what that paperwork said. Quote, that if DeWood Burke comes into the state of California in obedience to a summons directing him to attend and testify at said grand jury investigation, the laws of the state of California and of any other state through which he may be required to pass by the ordinary course of travel to attend such proceeding, shall give him protection from arrest and the service of process, civil or criminal, in connection with matters which arose before his entrance into said state pursuant to such summons. That DeWood Burke is an adult, that the prosecution will provide the witness around.
I think that is basically insurance saying they won't arrest you if you show up. It's kind of just like trying to convince a criminal to come to court. Like, we won't, it's not a trap. I swear to God. I thought I hit my camera.
Trip airplane ticket and transportation to and from the airport. Wherefore, it is requested for and on behalf of the state of California that your honor certify to the above and foregoing by the issuance of a certificate thereto under the seal of the Superior Court of Record in the state of California to compel the attendance of DeWood Burke as a witness at the grand jury investigation.
David and
date
DeWood.
time set forth
Tell me you
in
didn't want to have a second
So
child.
clearly
Bob.
they
Tell me
wanted
you
him,
didn't wanna
right?
have a second
And
child.
we had a chance to dig into that court paperwork, and attorneys for the Burkes filed a writ of habeas corpus arguing that the order compelling them to go to California was illegal, that it was unlawful, because they didn't get fully unredacted copies of the documents that were accompanying the request, so they didn't have the full information, they didn't have notice. Now, a judge considered those arguments, but ultimately denied the writ.
Thank God.
But as part of those proceedings, there were some documents that were unsealed, and it gave us a look at where this investigation stood at that point. Again, this is before
Is that a
David's
fucking
arrest.
iPod?
In those documents, David was referred to, and this was a big shocker, as a target
Yeah,
of
iPod.
a
You gotta
murder
lock that motherfucker
investigation.
up.
Quote, it is alleged in this case that the target may be involved in the death of 14-year-old victim Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who may have been and victim of foul play. Her severely decomposed, dismembered body was found in the front trunk of Target's Tesla on September 8th,
Target's Tesla.
2025. On September 8th, 2025, at approximately 10:30 hours, Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD detectives, received a phone call from the manager of Hollywood Area Official Police Garage. The manager stated a black Tesla Model X had been impounded as an abandoned vehicle by the Department of Transportation on September 5th, 2025. The manager told police there was a strong smell of decay coming from the vehicle, which was attracting flies. LAPD detectives responded to the Hollywood tow yard to investigate. Detectives approached the vehicle, which was parked on the upper deck of the impound lot, and immediately noticed the smell of decaying biological material consistent with a decomposing corpse coming from the front storage compartment of the vehicle. Detectives obtained a search warrant for the vehicle, and when the front storage compartment was opened, detectives observed a black cadaver bag covered with insects and a strong odor of decay.
Utilizing black
Utilizing
latex
black
gloves. Why do you have to
latex
say that?
gloves, detectives partially unzipped the bag and
I'd
observed
hate to
a
have to type one of these
decomposed
things.
head and torso. Investigators and criminalists from the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner responded to the tow yard to process the decomposed body. Upon removing the cadaver bag from the front storage compartment, it was discovered the arms and legs had been severed from the body. A second black bag was discovered underneath the cadaver bag. Upon opening the second bag, the dismembered body parts were discovered. Detectives were advised that on August 26, 2025, a citizen reported the above-mentioned Tesla as an abandoned vehicle parked across from 1405 Bluebird Street. On August 27, 2025, Department of Transportation officers responded to Bluebird and marked the vehicle. On September 3, 2025, Department of Transportation returned to the vehicle and issued a citation. On September 5, 2025, Department of Transportation impounded the vehicle to Hollywood Area Tow. It was noted that the Tesla was registered to target David Anthony Burke in Hempstead, Texas. David, who is a
Yo, shout out to the guy that issued the citation. He probably left it on the car and didn't smell nothing. Fucking pay attention, dude.
Was on tour at the time his vehicle was impounded. And then the next section is different for each witness, but it says detectives learned that Caleb Burke is the younger brother of target David Burke and has a close relationship with him. Detectives learned that Colleen Burke is the mother of target David Burke and has a close relationship with him. Per several witnesses, she is instrumental to his career success and manages his business finances. Detectives learned that DeWood Burke is the father of target David Burke and has a close relationship with him. So you also wonder if they were going to be compelled to testify about
And we finna find out the family blinded by money.
A large chunk of text that's redacted, but from there we have this application for writ of habeas corpus, and the basic argument here, again, is that under Texas law, a court can only force a resident to testify in another state if there's been a meaningful hearing. They need to understand what it's all about before being forced to go somewhere or being confined in some way. And as I mentioned, that writ of habeas corpus was denied by the court. But to get back to the point, 2 hearings were held. And at the first one, on January 23rd, Colleen and Caleb were in attendance, as well as 2 LAPD homicide detectives who could testify if they needed to. Now, we don't know why DeWood wasn't present, but Mia Magnus represented Texas as well as California, basically by proxy. And she argued that the determination about materiality of these witnesses, like their importance, why they're valued, was already made by a California judge. All the Texas judge needed to do was make sure that the paperwork was all in order and to tell the witnesses they needed to go. Now, the judge said, actually, since this was so last minute, he didn't have any of the paperwork. So they decided to reschedule the hearing for several days later. At the February 2nd hearing in Texas, Colleen, Caleb, and DeWood were all there with counsel. Bennett Dodson, assistant DEA for Waller
they
County in
rescheduled and
Texas,
got
told
all
the
through
court,
them.
I don't think it's a secret to anyone at this point that Mr. David Burke is a musician who's quite famous, and this matter concerns a car that was registered to him at these witnesses' address here in Houston that had a dismembered, decomposing body in it. I would say if a car with a dismembered, decomposing body is registered to your home address, that is something you should expect to be questioned by the authorities about, and that's what this
yeah.
Well, the attorneys for David's family members argued that everyone involved in both California and Texas courts, so the judges, the prosecutors, they had seen the unredacted affidavit, but their clients only got the redacted version. And they want to know what's in that big blacked out section of the petitions. Again, it goes back to the legal argument. Hey, we have a right to know what this is about under habeas before relinquishing our freedom in a way. Now, ADA Dodson claimed that most of that information in the affidavit is already known to the public, saying, quote, it's all over TMZ, goes on to say the redacted information concerns knowledge that is only known to the grand jury, period. It has not been distributed anywhere. And then the judge's decision. But even when I look at it myself, I still think these witnesses are material and necessary because of the relationship that's involved with the witnesses and the defendant. So my ruling is going to be that they are to go to California and honor the subpoena by California. And while the judge ordered...
My thing is, why are you even fighting it? Bro, if I get a letter to my family that says my little brother found a body in his trunk, and it's registered to blah, blah, bro, I don't need to hear much more. I'm going. That's the type of behavior that makes me think you're guilty of something. What are you arguing about? Any reasonable human being would be like, oh, nah, I gotta go figure out what this is about. Like, they talking about one of my kids, one of my brothers. Like,
the Burks to go to LA, appear before seemingly this grand
jury. I just feel like some movement
is
sus.
unclear when that happened and what they had to say, apparently, in those secret hearings. However, as I mentioned earlier, the family has come out in support of David. They say they believe he's innocent. And I will say this, and this is a new update, and it's a
based on what?
Strange twist, to say the least. But as David is languishing behind bars right now, as he's awaiting his preliminary hearing in his trial, and again, he's innocent until proven guilty, his brother Caleb is making the news because Caleb has apparently taken this opportunity to launch his own music career.
Hey, yo,
So
put these
according to
boys
a
down.
report from TMZ,
I'm sorry.
Caleb
I'm
has
sorry. I'm
used
sorry.
several stage names, including a version of his name where a V replaces the A.
This whole
And his more
family
recent monikers
is
are Karakova, or
chopped,
just
bro. This
Kova.
whole family's
And
cooked.
earlier this week, Kova released a couple of singles on major streaming platforms like Apple Music and Spotify, by the way, the platform that helped launch David to superstardom. And the two singles are called Sex and Imaginary Love. Now,
And they're all little
the decision
fucking weirdos,
to
bro.
release music right now is getting a lot of backlash, with some online
Like little
calling
fucking
this move
virgins
tone
that
deaf,
just,
demonic. This is according to the Mirror.
oh my
But Caleb
God,
attempted
bro.
to silence the critics through a lengthy Instagram story on Thursday, appearing
How are you fucking 0 for 2 on kids? Where are the parents? Where are the parents, bro? Y'all are 0 for 2 right now. Get this under control. Get it under control, bro. His court case isn't even over yet, and your next son is wilding already.
to distance himself from his brother, from David, dispel rumors that he helped his brother somehow cover up the alleged murder. Again, there's been no allegations of that. There's been no definitive proof of that. And Caleb also addressed a video of him circulating online, interacting with Celeste backstage at one of David's concerts. So Caleb's post says the following, quote, "I've been wanting to say something for a while, but I have to be careful about what I say as this is an ongoing legal matter. I don't want to make this
Maybe
horrible
just shut
situation
up.
about me. I want justice for Celeste and her family. I've
Yeah,
seen
that's
people
a
say
lie.
that I knew what was going on and was protecting my brother. This is not true at all. I have not lived with my brother for years and was not very close with him. We didn't speak often other than when our family was brought on tour or he was visiting home. I was around Celeste a few times when I was 15. I did not know her well and did not know her age. People have been posting a video showing me backstage with her at one of David's concerts when I was 15, and I've been wanting to address it for a while. People have even gone as far as to say that I was sneaking her backstage, which is not true. She was already at the show, and the video takes place after the show had already ended. In the video, we were sent to grab something from a fan that was in front of the stage, and we were walking back. News companies such as
This is
TMZ,
still part
Daily
of his
Mail, and others
post.
have started
Jesus.
saying that I am taking advantage of the whole situation to promote my music and that
That's
I am
100%
just now
true.
launching my music career. This is not true at all. I have been releasing and posting music over the last
Said like
3
a
to
true
4 years
scammer.
and took over a half-year hiatus due to what happened. I changed my name online from
3.5 years. Nigga, you're like fucking 15, bro. 3 to 4. Brother, you're still in school. You're still in school. Shut the I've been releasing and posting my music for 3 to 4. Yo, just shut up and get to the books, you fucking geek.
Pleb to Kova, as I did not want to associate myself with any of this. I have not once mentioned the situation or my identity on the new accounts. TMZ even reported my age incorrectly, saying that I'm 20 when I just turned 18 in November. I had scheduled my first release under the new name before any of this became a headline again, and the song came out 2 days before the arrest. This project, music, videos, and songs, was already in motion long before any news coverage around my brother surfaced. My intent has never been to use this to bring attention to myself or my music. This is the whole reason why I started over from scratch. My decision to continue releasing music.
Brother, imagine having a failed music career and you're 15 years old, 18 years old, talking about, I'm trying to restart. I'm trying to Yo, you suck. Your music sucks. Just shut up.
Is not
You
about
didn't
using
make
any
it.
of this for attention. Music is my life, and after stepping away for months because of everything that's happened, I wanna
Music is
go
your
my
life,
own
and
path.
that's the
Now,
fucking
it's
problem.
possible that we'll find out more details about possible family ties.
That's the problem,
and
brother.
connections
That's the
between
problem.
David and the Burks and Celeste at a preliminary hearing later this month, because the preliminary hearing, which is when the court will hear some of the evidence that prosecutors have against David, determine
Y'all are
whether
like
an
some
application
fucking
will move
weird
forward to
Disney
trial
kids or
if there is
some
a
shit.
probable cause to support the charges. And that was originally scheduled, by the way, within just a few days of David's arrest, but the defense said they have terabytes of discovery to sort through. They're not ready yet, so the preliminary hearing is now set for the end of May. So we'll, of course, continue to follow this case closely, bring you any updates as they come out. And, of course, if we hear any more connections to David's family, we'll talk about it. But that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. And
Oh, bro, that shit is sick, bro. I just wanna hit his face, man. I can't. But that's all they got so far. That's enough for me to say his family's fucking crazy too. Like, you guys are just pumping out kid after kid that's a psychopath. It's only a matter of time with this next kid. It's only a matter of time. All right. What else? What do I have? What do I have? Oh my god. The immigrant tier list. Feels like a lot of work right now. Hmm. Let's boost the vibe up in a bit. It's getting a little tired. Boost the vibe. That was a big swallow. Pause. Okay, how do I want to do this? What's the other thing I have? I think it's on Rumble. Hold on. Ah, fuck it. Let's do it. All right, all right, all right. We're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. I don't remember why I had this idea, and I don't really remember how I got here at this point. It's been too many hours. My brain doesn't work like that. But I'm gonna still do it. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to look at percentage of immigrants in the U.S. by race. I don't know if I can find the statistics that I'm looking for. This is kind of what I want. There we go. There we go. Hold on. This. Oh, this won't ruin my ability to post this on YouTube. My VODs don't save my music. This might be good. This might be good. Mexico, India, China, Philippines. Damn, we got a lot of Philippine immigrants. What the fuck? Cuba, Salvador, Guatemala, DR, Colombia, Vietnam. From the top, what is selling dope? Yeah. All right, so maybe you know what? We'll use this list right here. Use this right here. We're gonna rank all of these immigrants. Holy fuck! Fuck! What the fuck? Since when? The fuck? Yeah. So let's go here. Let's just type in Mexican. El Gordito. Hmm. We want to go with that. The Mexican OT. Let's use this old guy. I like this old guy. You just saw my files. I just saw my terabytes. Oh shit. I'm sorry. I don't want this to. Yeah, have this come up over here. Maybe we should get all the pictures first. So India, Indian. Not gonna say anything. Not gonna say anything. Yeah, I'll take this one. I know a guy that looks like this. It was next. China. Ah. Filipino. What a fuck? Alright. You're getting fucking ahead of yourself now, fingers. She look like she hitting that shit. Hey, hey, hey. That's awkward. That's just me dancing in silence on recording. Should have rolled up before I did this. Now, before we'll get the pictures and then we'll scroll up and then we'll get to ranking. I literally lost the plot as I started speaking. Yeah, let's use these guys. I like these guys. Filipinos are cool if y'all didn't know. Like they're like the black Asians. I fuck with those guys. Great dancers. Notice me. Say on next. Where the fuck did that Filipino man just go? Oh, they're there. Cuban. He named it darker than I thought. Oh, maybe not. Not Cuban, bro. I see. Oh, Cuban Link. I was about to say. I see you guys got infected with the light skin genes. It's tough. Set the city on fire. I don't know who the hell this guy is, but his face keeps popping up. So we're gonna use this guy. Use this guy. This guy is our representative Cuban. El Salvador. Oh, that's not what I wanted. What the fuck are you guys called? El Salvadorians? Close enough. I'm not gonna use that one. I don't really. Okay, you guys have a very specific set of photos that's coming up. You guys probably want to talk to Google about your PR. It's getting better. It's getting better. It's crazy for that to be the first bit. Jesus Christ. What's this guy's story? Man mistakenly deported to El Salvador doesn't need to be back in U.S. tonight. Supreme Court rules. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a legal resident protected from deportation by a 2019 court order, who has lived in U.S. I'm sorry. I'm locking. Since 2011, was deported to a notorious Salvadorian prison on March 15. Let me turn the music down so I can read. Oh, there's a whole video? It's like 4 minutes long. I'm gonna just read it. The United States does not have to return a Maryland man who was accidentally deported to a high security prison in El Salvador to U.S. soil by midnight. The Supreme Court ruled Monday in an administrative stay that temporarily pauses a judge's previous order. The Fourth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals on Monday morning denied the administrator's request for the stay of a judge's. Jesus fucking Christ! Stop repeating yourself. A legal resident protected from deep. Yeah. Then issues. Administrative error. Tough. U.S. District Judge Paul Azenis issued a return order on Friday, calling it unlawful. Vowed to continue to protect it. Wait, the United States. It did not contend that doing so would cause it any harm. The filing status. That is because the only one harmed by the current state of affairs is Alberto Garcia. I gotta read it, don't I? I gotta read it or I'm a piece of shit, don't I? Fuck me. But we have every confidence that the Supreme Court is going to resolve this matter as fast as possible. He added that it has been a yo-yo weekend for the family. Arbitrary impossible. You guys are dickheads. Holy shit. The United States negotiations with a foreign sovereign should not be put on a judicially mandated clock. least of all when matters of foreign terrorism and national security are at stake, the filing claimed. It is the latest in litany of Jesus fuck. I'm in a litany of injunctions or temporary restraining orders from the same handful of district courts that demand immediate or near immediate compliance on absurdly short deadlines. Which is a valid claim, because why the fuck did he get set in prison, though? John Sor, who was confirmed at U.S. Yeah, they can't make him return. I'm trying to skim it because I don't want to spend too much time on it. Oh shit. Oh wait. All right. This is where we get into the juice. The Trump administration has claimed that Abrego Garcia is an MS-13 gang member, but his attorney disputed those claims. Sandoval Maschenberg said Abrego Garcia came to the United States in 2011 to flee gun violence and gang members threatening to kill him in the attempt to extort his parents. The attorney also noted Abrego Garcia does not have a criminal record in the United States or El Salvador. Zenas rejected that stay effort on Sunday, writing that government's detention of Abrego Garcia, I'm just going to use his last name, Garcia was wholly lawless. Defendants seized him without any loyal authority, held him in 3 separate detention centers without legal basis, failed to present him with any immigration judge or officer, transported him to El Salvador in direct contravention of the INA. Once there, U.S. officials secured his detention in that facility that, by design, deprives its detainees of adequate food, water, shelter, fosters routine violence, and places him with his persecutors. Hold on, sexy. Hold on, sexy red. Chill out. Okay. To be fair to the Trump administration, there is nothing they could do, right? They can't make El Salvador give him this motherfucker back. If El Salvador want him, they got him right now. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. So they actually can't do anything. But and it is their fuck up. I think. I can't imagine why he would get. Because my thing is, bro, like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't read between the lines. Like, if this month was under investigation and they had their reasons for booking him and sending him, I get it. It does say he doesn't have criminal records on either side of the water, but hey, man, we sent him and they put his ass in prison. So maybe that clearly they know something we don't know, or they know something I don't know. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah. That is tough cookies, brother. Tough cookies. But you just earned yourself a spot on the leaderboard, brother. Come on down. All right, turn me back up, okay? All right, Guatemala. All right, don't highlight it. That's cool. Guatemala person. Damn, there's not a lot of Guatemalan people, I guess. Oh, I said Guatemala. 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 What was I trying to make? Guatemala. How the fuck do you say? Oh, Guatemala. Mm, 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 mm. Come on, what's a good Guatemalan? Come on. Someone's gonna stick out at me. Fuck is this guy? This is a stock photo. Who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? Serious Hispanic male looking at the camera, standing in street. How much you got paid for this shit, big dog? What's this? Oh shit. Oh god. Go off, King. Bro, this fucking black guy is here for nothing more than street cred, bro. Holy shit. He's got him throwing up gang signs like it's fucking sign language. Oh, he's dancing. Okay, okay, I'm locked. It's be kind of hard though. Where the fuck did they find this chick? I'm listening to this motherfucker like I know what the fuck he's saying right now. Oh shit, go off. What is this like? Are you talking fucking motherfuckers loud as shit? Is he talking French or some shit? Yeah, you could tell this motherfucker French because he ought to be the motherfuckers dancing like this shit. I'm doing motherfucking interpretive dance and shit like that. Like, y'all got the turtlenecks with the fucking long sleeves. I see he got the side zipper. That's some Neo shit right there. Oh shit. Don't fucking look at me like that. Alright, okay, I don't like the way he's fucking looking at me. That's all the viewership you get out of me, brother. But I think you made your way. I think you earned yourself a spot. I think you earned yourself a spot. Let's go with this one. No, let's go with this one. Quiet computer. I don't even remember what fucking race you're supposed to represent, brother. Guatemalan, right? Yeah. Jesus. Is he actually Guatemalan? Who the fuck is this guy? Wait, let me do a fact check. Did this guy slip past my radar? Slip past my fucking radar? Who the fuck is this guy? Brazil. Yeah, maybe the Guatemalan guy in Brazil speaking French. I don't know, but you made the quote. You are Guatemala from now on. I don't give a fuck. Dominican Republic. Dominican. Papi. Okay. Spotify isn't working. All right, Dominican Republic person. Okay. Dominico, and I'm black, papi. And I'm black. Black. I don't know who this is, but he's good enough. David Ortiz, you made the cut. Jesus, listen. Just do what I tell you. All right, never mind, David Ortiz. You didn't make the cut. Your file sucks. Cardi B's Dominican. That bitch from the Bronx. That shit probably is Dominican. Cardi B, blah blah blah. Beth Collis, Marlenis, Alzamar, whatever. Dominican. Yeah, she's Dominican. Yeah. You made the cut, Cardi. You made the cut. Find a good. Let's find a good. Let's find a good one. Let's find a good one. She is eating in most of these photos. It's very hard. Very hard. Come on, Cardi. Give me something good. What the fuck is this? The fuck is that? Sorry. I feel bad. I'm just gonna pick one. All right, we got Domenico. We just need Colombia. These guys are great. Can I not? I think I have Dyslexia, brother. Pablo Colombia. Pretty sure he is. Mm-hmm. All right, Vietnam. The boys, our brothers in arms. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. This one was nice. You look good. His gaze strikes me. He looks like a discerning man. I respect him. Respect a man with an eyesight like that. Baudet as you Baudet as. Alright, I'm scrolling the fuck up. I just want to smoke break. You know, I want to put a couple others on here. I think Irish deserve a spot. Jesus. I think Irish people deserve a spot. I think And we have China. I think that's good enough. We got Australian immigrants. Some fucking Australians in America. Canada stays where it's at. Who are we missing? Who are we missing? Do we have Russian immigrants? I don't really think we have Russian immigrants. That was a percentage thing. No. We got Irish people. I guess we could put blacks. I should put Africans actually. Maybe I should specify. No, I'm not actually going to because I don't care. At the current state. I'm not gonna lie. That is diabolical. Diabolical. What this guy? This guy looks like he does Cash App scams. You know what? People can leave it in the comments. If there are any races that I left out from the immigrant tier list, the U.S. immigrant tier list, let me know in the comments. You feel me? Let me know in the comments, brother, and we can hash it out. I'll come on, I'll add them in. We can hash it out. I'm fucking hungry. It's 9:30 already. I might have to make myself a sandwich, y'all. Might have to take a snack break. I still want to do I should be able to get this done in like 30 minutes. And then I still want to do I really should have edited a video, but I could release one of these raw diggity dog, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's a little something on the side. I also really need to clean right now. I'm not gonna be here tomorrow. God damn. I don't know how loud it is. I was at max for y'all. Oh, I was saying I still want to do Myron and Alex Jones. I think it's a two-part interview, so maybe we'll watch half of it. I think what I'll do is I'll just fucking slap a thumbnail on some of these and just make them an uncut video. Like these streams, I don't have the time. I don't have the patience nor the time. I don't have to worry about the copyrights and stuff like that. So I really can just raw dog these videos and just slap them up. And I think that's what I might do. Music like this hanging around, and y'all are out here listening to David. It's crazy. Yeah, I didn't really think about the fact that I might not be able to remember who's who. Oh, Keen was the guy that tried to fucking scam me earlier. Mm, mm. W follow though. You see these guys in the chat, they think I need help, but the truth is, my true plot is I'm just gonna collect as many bots and scammers as I can in the follow list, and then I'm just gonna be like, hey, I got 100 followers. Yeah, I'm lit. Yeah. I got some more of that sauce. We're gonna need that for this one. All right. Cheers to our reputation. Welcome, boys and girls. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the video. I'm Adam, and today we are going to be doing a U.S. immigrant tier list. You heard it. The first of its kind. We're gonna really dig deep in, and I'm gonna say it now. I'm gonna say it at the end of the video. If I missed any people, let me know. Let me know. We'll add them to the list. You feel me? We're gonna fill out this whole tier list so everyone knows where they stand. First off the bat, we have Mexicans. Now, Mexicans actually is a very easy pick for where they're gonna go, and people might not actually like you wouldn't expect this to be where they go, but actually they're gonna land themselves flat in S tier. Okay, Mexican people have been an absolute asset, nothing more, nothing less than an absolute asset to the U.S. civilization. Man, you guys, you're hardworking, you're honest, you reproduce, you got good family values, you guys got good culture, you got good food. Man, you got good food. You guys are such a welcome addition to this company, man. There's nowhere you could ever place a Mexican man, a Mexican woman, but S tier when it comes to immigration, all right? Absolute phenomenal people. Now next, we're gonna have Indians. Wherever my hand lands is not indicative of where they're gonna go. It's just my hand it just wanders. You know, it's a random chance. A random chance. You never know. You never know where they might end up. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Shit. Well, now that you're there, let's talk about it. Let's talk face value. Okay? Let's talk face value. I'm gonna be fucking honest here. I'm gonna be fucking honest. I'm well aware of the historical context of personal smell. You know, where it falls in cultures and how they, acknowledge it and value it. I understand. Cut that shit. Cut that shit when you come over the water, big dog. I'm gonna need you guys to. Oh, you feel me? The whole kit caboodle. I'm gonna need it. Alright, I'm gonna need it. That's first and foremost. I guess the second point will be your religion. I do whatever you want. I think people should do whatever they want. When it comes to me, I'm not really a religion person. I think it's kind of, for lack of a better word, primitive. But I do think the factor, the irrefutable factor that it's kind of intrusive, just a little bit. Music is fucking up my ability to talk. Just a little bit intrusive. You know, listen, I see it. I see it. That's all I'll say. I'm not gonna say more on it. It is what it is. You know what they say in the public. But apartment complexes are full. That's what I see. However, on a positive note, there's a positive note in this section. All right. There's always bad eggs. Sometimes there's more bad eggs in the bunch. Sometimes you get a batch of 12. You get the baker's dozen of eggs, and 10 of them suck. All right. It happens. It happens. Maybe you drop the carton. Maybe they just sat on the shelf too long. You never know. But not everyone. You know, real smart guys over there. Real smart guys over there. But we can work together from across the world. Technology has made a great, absolutely amazing advances. And that's all I'm going to say on that topic. But as far as in the country goes, I just think you guys aren't really a good fit for what we got going on here. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think you're a bad person, but I just don't think for the position that we're looking to fill, I don't think you guys really fit the bill based on other, factors. That's what it is, Yeah, got to go, my brother. Got to go. Now I think this one right here is Vietnamese. This one right here is Vietnamese. Let's check. It is too far down in my history now. God damn it! What did I fucking search? I don't feel like typing. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is. This might not be the one we were looking for. Countries of origin. That's what I looked up. There we go. Can't be China. Oh god. It's fucking China. Fucking China. Shit. My bad. My bad. Here we got China. China. We got a good video on these. I want to react to this video. The truth about China. Be nice to find out. But I think when it comes to immigration, I think S tier. I think S tier. I think S tier. And here's my reasons why. You guys acquiesce perfectly. You guys are, if not a benefit to culture, you feel me? Way more respectful, way more. And you guys can be, arrogance is what it is. I don't. People got confidence in their own race. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? You guys come here, you get educated, or you work business. I can respect it. I can't really think of too much. I actually can't really think of too much that goes on. Chinese immigrants. How many are there? 3 million, 5 to 6%. Like the third largest. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. You guys keep it coming, keep it coming. Filipinos, great dancers, great cooks. You guys have made a very large impact on the food industry. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I would put you in A, but yeah, as I cascade down this wormhole of bad idea that this video is, oh Jesus, and my conscience just gets heavier and heavier. Yeah, you guys are going in fucking B tier. Right, but I will say, good people. On the side of like criminality, not too bad. Not too bad. It could be better. I think B tier. B tier is a good place. B tier is a good place. Now Cuban. I remember this one. This one is Cuban. You guys could almost qualify. Almost qualify for S tier. Let me think. Let me think. Hard workers, diligent, criminal, but respectable about it. We've had our moments with Cuba. So Pablo and all. We're gonna put him. We're gonna put A tier, A tier, A tier. The fuck is that? Oh, was that El Salvador? I have lost the plot. I can't find the list that I had before. Germany is one of the top ones. So what the fuck is the list I was looking at before? I think I lost the plot, guys. What fucking language spoken? Oh wow, this is interesting. We got Portuguese immigrants here. Oh, commonly spoken languages. I want to see fucking people. I want to see who live and where. Let's turn it into just fucking immigrant research. We scrapped it. What's our last thing? Oh, I think I have it open over here. God, I want to eat so bad. I might save this. We have okay, figured out. Thank you. We had this. I actually did not want that to display. Yeah, no, I was thinking about doing this, reacting to this, but I know I might do it in the last one. I might just keep this to 2. You know what? Actually, yeah, out of care for me, I'm gonna keep it to 2, because that way I can edit, do all this shit, put this shit out, be good. So, with that in mind, I'm about to be out. I will, maybe I'll see y'all tomorrow. Maybe I won't.